Right, so here we find ourselves making up some of our solutions for the salicylate lab. So we've got, this is our 1% ferric nitrate. And this is where we're making our dilute ferric nitrate solution, which is 5:4 of our ferric nitrate solution to 4 parts 0.07 molar nitric. I've already put in our 4 parts 0.07 molar nitric, so I do it by mass. And so we have 20.179 grams of the nitric, and so now we're going to add 25 milliliters, or approximately 25 grams, of our iron nitrate solution. And the nice thing by doing this by mass is that you can be approximate in your measurements and then exact in the quantities measured out. And so ultimately you get the exact concentration. So this should end up being 45, approximately. All right, so we've got our iron nitrate solution, 45.376. So 45.376 minus, sorry, that wasn't 45, it was 46. Yeah. So 46.376 minus the amount of nitric I already had in there, so 26.196 grams of our iron solution. And now we need a 5:4 molar 5:4 mixture of the 0.07 molar nitric and water. So this one is less critical what the actual concentration is. So we're going to take our 0.07 molar nitric solution. And so we want 5 parts of this, so we want about 25 milliliters, or 25 grams. And again, it's not so critical if we go over, because we don't need an exact concentration. And even if we want an exact concentration, we can calculate what it is based on the mass that we actually delivered. So it's 27.217 grams. And I'm going to add the water, and I want approximately 20 grams of water. And of course we're using deionized water. So we have our 20 grams of deionized water, 20.106. And then finally, we're going to make our salicylate standard. So we have a stock solution made previously. And this one ultimately is going to be 5 milligrams per deciliter of salicylic acid, and so that's going to be 5 mils of our stock to 95 mils of water. So we add the whole bottle for this one. This one is critical because the salicylic acid is what we're basing all of our concentrations on, so our calibration curve is based on this standard, so it needs to be made up extremely accurately. The iron solution, the iron is in excess because it's a complexing agent, and of course the acid solution is for diluting, and so we need approximately a certain concentration, but we just want them to match throughout. So it's not as critical, but this one we need to know exactly what the concentration of the solution is. So this one we want to make with even more care. So for this we're actually going to use a pipette. We're going to use a serial pipette. But in addition to that, we're also going to collect the mass so we know exactly what was delivered. So So we're going to use our salicylic acid stock solution. And again, it's a 5 to 95, but we're only going to make 50 total. And so we're going to do 2.5 to 47.5. So here we'll draw up our solution. Ideally we want 2.5 mils. And these is a 2 deliver, so we're going to bring it down to 2.5. Right there. Now we will deliver it. Try to get that last tip. Touch to the edge. So there we've ended up delivering 2.478 grams of our stock solution. So I'm going to record that on the bottle. And now ultimately we want to dilute to 50 with water. Using our deionized water. And so our final volume is 50.012, or our final mass. All right, so we're going to go ahead and make up our solutions. We're going to make it up based on the recommendations of our lab notebook here, and we're going to make it up directly in the cuvettes. So we have 6 cuvettes aligned, ready to go. We have a little holder over here so that we don't get them mixed up. So they're all numbered, and so we're going to put 1 milliliter of the nitric in cuvette 1, along with 1 ml of distilled water, because that's going to give us our blank. I'll put my distilled water in here. All right, so we're going to use an auto pipette. We're going to go ahead and set this to 1 milliliter. A few things that will be repeatedly set to that volume. So 1 milliliter of our 0.039 molar nitric only goes in the blank. So we take 1 milliliter. And we want 1 milliliter of distilled water, also for the blank. Now that's everything that we're going to put in the blank. So we'll go ahead and cap that off. Make sure it's shaken up. Put in our cuvette holder. And so now we're going to add 0.9, 0.753 milliliters of water to each of our other solutions. So we'll just go ahead and set this down. Since we have the tip on, we'll use the same one, since we're just doing water every time. So 0.9 milliliters for cuvette number 2. .7 milliliters for cuvette number 3. And I'm going to set this to time lapse. Oh, you weren't even seeing the cuvette. As you can see, now that we've made our standards, we have increasingly colored solutions. So we'll make sure to shake these, put them in their appropriate positions. All right, and we're ready to go analyze once we prep our unknown solution. So we're going to take 1 ml of our unknown, and we're going to mix it with 1 milliliter of our ferric nitrate, and see what we get.